Rejection. It hits different people in different ways, some good, some bad. In this list, we'll go over various rejections and how the protagonists bounce back to make them wish they had never said no. Number 10.
好きだ。付き合ってほしい。
付き合えない。
Starting off the list, we have Just Because. Your typical girl rejects boy, then actually thinks about it later that night and regrets it romance story. See, he had been moving around his whole life from his father's work until consequently he ended up at his hometown for his final semester. Upon arriving, everyone talks about the cute new guy, but as luck would have it, he ends up confessing to his crush. As you would expect, he rejects him until later that night when she realizes how she messed up.
関係ないんだから黙ってて。
なんだよそれ。俺だってずっと夏目のこと。中学の時から知ってんだからさ。関係ないはないだろ。
Even after her countless advances, he shows no sign of forgiveness, completely ignoring her and giving her a taste of the very rejection that made him change. Number 9.
僕、森島先輩のことが好きです。
本気？
はい、本気です。
そうなんだ。
Next up, we have Amagami SS, an anime where instead of acting depressed, he changes for the better. The protagonist, Junichi, thought he was doing good in life with a date secured with a hot girl, but as luck would have it, he got stood up. With this in mind, he ends up thinking his love life is done for, but the opposite happens.
ねえ君、
やば、早く拾わなきゃ。
そこの大食いの君。
え？森島先輩。
He begins meeting more and more girls, of course, rezzing them all in the process until he can't decide which to pick. Not only did he take the rejection like a man, but he also used it as fuel to start opening up his options in case one of the girls rejects him like he had previously been.
ありがとう。すごく嬉しい。
先輩。
でもダメ。
え？
私、年上で頼りがいのある人が好みなの。
そうなんですか。
Number 8.
優しい子は例外かもね。なんて。じゃあ、藤井くんも授業遅れないようにね。
For the next anime, we have Domestic Girlfriend, a complicated love story to say the least. To start, our protagonist, Fuji, falls in love with his hot teacher. Not for her looks, but for her cheerful personality. As you can expect, he tries to get a date with her, but gets rejected, her being his teacher and all. Not only this, but as luck would have it, when he goes on a mixer later that week, he ends up sleeping with one of the girls, but wait, it gets crazier.
一度だけ。最後に一度だけこれで全部終わりにするから。
This girl ends up being the sister of his previous crush, the teacher. But wait, it gets even crazier. With his dad being a bit of a playboy, he ends up remarrying into these two girls' moms. Yeah, pretty crazy. I can't recommend this to everybody, but if you want to see an alpha playing with two girls, this is the one.
だから、もう私のすることに。
Number 7.
おじさん、止めてよ。
お前な、会ったばかりのおじさんについていく女子高生があるか。
Up next, we have Higehiro. After being rejected, I shaved and took in a high school runaway. As you can guess, our protagonist, Yoshida, gets rejected by his long-life crush. completely diminishing him. Like he was hit by a truck, he goes to the nearest bar to drink away his sorrows, hoping he will forget about her the next day. Unexpectedly, however, on his way, he finds a high school runaway, asking him to let her crash at his spot for the night. Although he is hesitant at first, he accepts and the story takes off from there.
パパ
やめろ、ヘドが出る。
でも実はまだ味噌汁しか作ってなくて。
弁当買ってきた。
Now, later on, let's just say his longtime crush isn't too happy about this, but you'll have to watch to find that out.
こんばんは、さゆちゃん。後藤です。
Number 6.
髪やるの時間かかっちゃって、和也くん嫌かもって不安だったんだけど、どうかな。
別に嫌じゃねえよ。
よかった。
What do you do when you get dumped by your girlfriend? Rent a new one! That is exactly what this show is about. Our protagonist dates this cute girl for a month but ends up getting dumped, leaving him with no other option. He rents out a girlfriend, hoping to ease the pain from losing his previous lover, but it does the opposite.
はじめまして、水原千鶴と言います。
お見事。
I don't want to spoil too much, but let's just say she doesn't like seeing him with another girl. This ends up causing not only this girl to start chasing him, but also all the other girls who previously tried to reject him, making him feel like a true boss. Before we continue, have you ever gotten rejected and bounced back like a character in one of these shows? Also, don't forget to subscribe and like the video while you comment. Let's get back to the list. Number 5.
との作戦の話。
考えてきてくれたの？
もちろんだよ。
ありがとう。ジョーロ。
こいつこれで俺が好きじゃないんだぜ。
Entering the list is ORESUKI. Are you the only one who loves me? At first, everything is looking up for our protagonist, Joro. He has a date with not only his childhood friend, but also the student council president. With both having unparalleled beauty, he thinks, even if one rejects me, I can try with the other one.
ひまわりちゃんパワー。充電。
いきなり何するんだよ。やめろよひまわり。みんな見てるじゃないか。
あ、ジョーロ元気出た。
Assuming his luck won't strike out 2 times in a row, as you can guess, however, once he finishes spending all his money and playing around on their dates, they both confess to him about his friend. He thinks this will be the end of his love story, but as you can guess, things eventually flip sides. I don't want to say too much, but let's just say Joro ends up as the happy one.
ジョーロくんが好きなの。
なんでここだけテーマイベント？よりにもよってこいつだけ。
きっかけは
オッケー、十分伝わったよ。
Number 4.
カレーパン交換してメロンパンと。
もしかしてバレてた？
For the most part, we have been focusing on the guy's feelings after getting rejected, but what if we flip the switch? The anime Orange follows our protagonist Naho's perspective during her first year in high school. Before her first day, however, she gets a strange letter from her future self telling her to treat the new guy differently. She assumes that means rejecting him when he later confesses to her, but it ends up being the opposite.
2球目内角低め。
As she follows in her future self's footsteps, she starts to realize just what this letter means. Displaying a roller coaster of emotions, Orange is definitely an anime you ought to check out if you like seeing the main character go through different phases.
さっきのホームランかっこよかった。来年は俺も絶対出るから、サッカー諏訪よりうまいから見ててよ。
絶対。
Number 3.
でもいいわ、答えて。田辺昭夫はいるの？いないの？
いや、
Making the top 3, we have Masamune-kun's Revenge, a show following an absolute Chad. As a child, Masamune was fat and ugly. Basically everything was going wrong for him except one thing: his crush. He would always hang out with his crush, Aki, until one day when he actually confessed. As you can expect, she wanted nothing to do with such a loser, causing him to make a change for the better. As if it flipped a switch, he ends up becoming the alpha anywhere he goes, with stunning looks and a perfect body. Although he does all of this and is able to get with pretty much anyone, he stays to his roots and decides to get revenge on Aki.
いつかさこういう目に遭うって思ったんだよ。あだがきさんおっかないから。
Upon entering her school, he does everything in his power to raise her up, hoping to one day reject her as she did to him.
わ、ラブレターすごいね。
いやどうかな。あれもしかして俺いきなりバレてね？
Number 2.
この子ギフティアなんだよな。でも今日から俺たちパートナーだね。よろしく、アイラ。
As a runner-up on the list, we have Plastic Memories, with our protagonist, Tsukasa, spending all his school life alongside Isla, the heroine. He expects everything to go well when he confesses. Little does he know, however, she is just not able to express emotions like he is, her being an android and all. This causes some confusion between the two, but thankfully, unlike most others on this list, Tsukasa is down bad for the girl. He persists with his approach, and eventually Isla returns his feelings, making a heartfelt moment between the two. Before this all played out, however, she definitely went through her rough patches, wondering if she made the wrong choice.
お前に頼みがある。いいか？二度とアイラに無茶させるんじゃねえ。
Number 1.
ミツオはずーっと私のものよ。
At the top of the list, we have Golden Time, an anime where we get to see both sides of the rejection. See, the girl tells her friend that she could never be with him and that he is too ugly, thinking he is nowhere around. Soon after she says all of this, however, that very guy is at her door listening to it all. As you can expect, she tries to get back with him, saying it was all a joke, but he doesn't budge. He ends up getting depressed and ignoring the girl during his high school days, making her realize how big of a mistake she made. Later on the series, they re-encounter each other, but with Banri.
私は加賀高校。よろしくね。
The guy having amnesia, she ends up getting a second chance. I don't know about y'all, but I can definitely relate to his emotions and where he is coming from. Because of all this, I definitely think this is the most relatable and aha moments within anime.
返すの忘れちゃった。ありがとう。これからもよろしくね。それじゃ。
Well guys, that wraps up the list. Let me know if I missed any anime that you think should have made the list in the comments section. As always, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell. Peace!